I ain't never missed my cue.
What's up, guys? It's Ryan Fitterman with the Fitterman and Friends podcast. I'm here today with the legendary SPUD WEBB. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you coming out and doing a meet and greet with the fans. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1986 Slam Dunk champ. How are you? What's going on these days?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm living in Dallas, working president of the Mavericks D-League team. So
You've done that for quite some time,
yeah,
right?
I've been there a long time. I like it because it gives me the opportunity to like work with the younger kids that coming in, trying to keep the dream alive. Working with a lot of interns that trying to be coaches, front office presidents, general managers, and stuff like that. So give me opportunity to stay home too, because I'm from Dallas.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So being one of the smallest men ever to play in the NBA,
Mm-hmm.
can you just describe to me the heart and drive that it takes to have such a successful career? 13 amazing years in the NBA. Maybe I think what, a 47-inch vertical. I mean, you could jump out of the gym. I was watching some of the highlights yesterday. It was unbelievable, the talent that you had, whether it's for the folks listening to our show or some of the people that you coach in business or in basketball. Tell us what it's like to, essentially be like an underdog or just be driven by heart and passion and to have, a 13-year career in the NBA.
Well, you definitely, have to have confidence that you belong. You go out and practice on your game and all that stuff. And once you get in the game, you have to produce. It wasn't no load management. It wasn't no process. You have to be ready to go. And I just think that the love I had for the game and love to play just showed that where I go out and work hard, on all aspects of my game. So once I get on the court, it becomes natural. So what I tell the kids, you have to work on it. I mean, I did a lot of work of shooting, playing a lot of basketball, so that different situations you get in, that you're able to overcome them or produce, as they say. But, you just have to, have in your mind that you belong out there with those guys and that you can, play basketball up to your best of your ability, that God give you the talent to do jump high and do those things. But if you don't work hard, you don't get the opportunity to play.
So it's a lot of mindset. You have to believe in yourself first before you step out on the court. So then when you perform, it essentially just comes second nature.
Absolutely. Yeah. I tell the kids all the time, we just don't show up in shorts and just play. You have to, the young kids say now, get in your bag and get in the gym and work hard. That's about much as you can tell them, man. If you don't get in there and work on your game, it definitely will show if you don't.
Because you are around the kids that are trying to prolong their career after college. They still have the chance and they still have the hope of making it into the NBA. So I'm sure a lot of what you instill in these guys is just continue to believe in yourself, get the hours in the gym.
Yeah.
And what's the ratio of guys that you've had the chance to touch their lives and their career that have made it from the G League to the league?
Oh, it's a lot. We have a bunch of guys that have had the opportunity to come through the G League and then go to the NBA. Every year that we have a new team, basically a whole new team. We have now the two-way players that are playing most of the year with the Mavericks, and then some of the games that come down and play with us with the G League, keep you shape, rehab from injuries and stuff like that. But the way the Mavericks does we use ours really well, because our two-way players would go up and practice with the Mavericks and then come down and play with us. And then when the Mavericks are not playing, they play with us. So I think the G League is working well where guys can hone their skills, that when they get to the NBA, it won't be too fast for them.
Yes, sir. What is it like? I'm personally a big fan of Mark Cuban. I'm sure you've worked closely with him for many, many years now. How is he to work with? I mean, he seems, to be like a people person, right? He's a man of like the players. How is it like to work with him on the business side of things?
It might have been a little bit different for me because I know him before, because he's come to the gym and hoop with us. before he even had the $1 billion.
Oh, wow.
So we kind of knew him from coming up to the gyms and hooping and stuff like that.
How's his game?
Oh, he loved to play. He played, all the guys like that think they're better than what they are.
Right.
Mark loved to play. He's the best owner you could have because he's for the players, and he whatever those guys need, he try to provide where it won't be no crutch in what they have to do to go out and perform. And you see his passion is just unbelievable that he's right there almost in the game.
In the game, screaming at the refs,
you gotta
trying to help coach.
Yeah, you gotta
in there.
love an owner like that. So, and then when you're with him like out somewhere, he talk, answer everybody's questions, fine, and take pictures of everybody. So that lets you know what kind of person he is.
Yes, sir. What is if you had to pick maybe like top 5 dunk contest winners or best dunkers of all time? I mean, I would be biased and say you got to be in the Mount Rushmore of dunk champs, right? You can include yourself if you want.
I'm not going to do that, but I know Dominique Wilkins is probably the best dunker I ever seen on TV and in person. So because the dunks we do like by ourselves on fast breaks. He does them on people.
Yeah, in the game.
In the game. So he's probably this. Then probably Vince Carter, Gordon, Levine, Richardson. All those guys were like really good dunkers and very creative. So I would never put myself in the category with the, I don't do that, but I love to see them those guys dunk.
Yes, sir. Earlier, you mentioned a little bit about load management. In your days in the 90s, that's my favorite era of sports is 90s basketball. I think the game is totally different from the 90s to now. What's your input on load management these days, being still active in the game and guys having, relatively long seasons?
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, really, because, you go a lot of places and you hear the people complaining about the load management. And especially when, you got guys that's playing 82 games. Then we used to have like commercial flights, and now they don't even have that. They have every need they have, and they still do load management. I don't understand. I tried to play. I look back on my career and playing. I missed one game my rookie year, and I still think about that. The rest of the time, I played 80 to 82 games, except for the one year I hurt my knee. But I just don't understand the load management. If you love basketball, like you say, you don't load manage.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say is championships is important in playoffs. Well, you get paid all that money to go out and play, and then you got people that pay a lot of money to come see you, and that probably hurt more to like if you see kids and their parents at the game and you sitting there in street clothes.
They came to see you,
and they came to see
you. Don't feel like
and
playing.
They came to see you,
right?
So I just don't like it. I mean, they have their reasonings and stuff like that, but it still doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. But again, to me, there's nothing like the basketball of the 90s. Growing up as a kid, who did you look up to? Was there someone who inspired you? Who would that person be?
Yeah, I grew up in Dallas, Texas, so it's all football for us. But the first time you seen Dr. J, you was like, oh man, I can do that. You just in your outside, wherever you can go, in your mom's house, just putting up a clothes hanger trying to dunk like Dr. J. And that's all I knew was waiting for that 11:30 game on a late Friday night for replay to come on in case Dr. J was playing in Philadelphia. And I got to meet him the first time, and me and the guys was like a preseason game. And you're like, we're going to get to see the doctor, man. We're like little kids like Dr. J. We're going to get to see him and play against him. And so me and John Battle, another teammate of mine, we got to the arena early. So we wanted to see him walk in, right? Because it's a doctor, he's just cool, all outside. And he walked in and he spoke to us. And we thought that was, that
was a big deal.
Big deal. That Dr. J and I told him one day when I was at the nerve to say something to him, that our bucket list was to play golf with him, and I got to play golf with my idol.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Dr. J was your guy.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on my show today. if I could get one last question in, whether people are entrepreneurs or athletes trying to prolong their career or make it to the big leagues, what's a piece of advice that you would want to pass on to either the kids listening or people that are trying to prolong their career? Someone who had a successful career in the league and on and off the court. You've been around pro basketball for many decades now.
Yeah.
So if you could leave one piece of advice to our listeners, what would that be?
Well, you always have to prepare yourself, you know. Yeah, if you don't go in situations, either business or sports, you've got to prepare yourself as far as going out, working hard, and doing the little things. I think that what helped me prolong my career is I learned to shoot free throws. I got better at shooting 3-pointers and stuff like that. It's just like anything you do, you have to have a process of situations that you have in your mind and thought that you wanted to do.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate the opportunity today, both for coming on the podcast and doing a meet and greet here at
Thanks
my
for having me.
facility. So it's a
Great
pleasure.
place.
It's a pleasure to work with you, ladies and gentlemen. Spud Webb, NBA legend, 1986 slam dunk champ. Thank you for coming on today, and we hope to have you back soon.
Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
I ain't never missed my cue.